So I am the proud owner now of an Ouya, and so I'm going to open this, but rather than just doing a boring unboxing video, which I don't really understand why people do unboxing videos, but I'm going to talk about the Ouya and why I like it so much. And the answer is not just because we're in Free the Games Fund and they're giving us money. I liked the Ouya a lot and wanted to make games for it, so the Free the Games Fund was just a bonus. So firstly, nice looking box. Have a few games. Hopefully Neverending Nightmares can appear on the Ouya box someday, or so I can hope. It's these stickers, but to me, the great thing about Ouya is that it is a game console, but that it's open, and I think there's a lot of confusion about what an open game console is these days because, you know, Xbox has the Xbox ID thing, and PlayStation, it has self-publishing, but self-publishing is different than being open. Wow, look at this tiny thing. That's tiny. And here's the controller. Wow, that's it. So, but the difference is if I, basically if I create a game for Ouya, I can put it on the store, no problem. If I create a PC game, I have to do Steam Greenlight, which, go vote for us in Steam Greenlight if you haven't already. But, you know, for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, well, for one thing, PlayStation 3 was similarly open to self-publishing. We self-publish Retrograde, and I don't know if there's any change in the program for PlayStation 4. At least it seems like they're making it even easier. It was a little bit tough, but you still have to get concept approval. Well, maybe you don't have to get concept approval anymore, but they need to make sure you're a serious company and you can pull off the game. Whereas, you know, with Ouya, you're a 7-year-old with Unity or whatever. You can put a game up on the platform, and so that's really great. But the other really great thing is that if I want my game to go live on Ouya, I press a button, presumably. I mean, it's just basically, there's no sort of approval process, but on all the consoles that I'm aware of, all the other consoles rather, there is a very stringent review, and so basically there's technical requirements for every platform, and you hear people talk about them on occasion, but they're often difficult, like months of work. So usually what happens is you go to make a console game for whatever other console than Ouya. You have to take your code and then you have to get it running using their proprietary APIs, whereas Ouya is based around Android, so it's all OpenGLES. So you'd have to port everything to some proprietary API. Then you have to make sure it meets these really long documents filled with technical requirements. And these are tricky. I think a lot of developers underestimate how tricky they are, and I sort of worry. You see Kickstarters that are like, hey, you know, our budget's $20K and we're gonna do every indie, you know, every console. And it's like, you should really watch Brian Provinciano's GDC talk about shipping 17 SKUs on Retro City Rampage, which, you know, was not a very technically complicated game, but just the act and the paperwork and all the different things to get it on all those platforms were a huge amount of work. So definitely it's a good presentation to watch, but I just feel like a lot of people think that because they can develop for these platforms that it's going to be easy, that it's going to be similar to developing for PC. Which it isn't. I mean, really, if you want an easy-to-develop console for, it's this little cube right here. And to me, as a developer, I love that. I love console games. I want Neverending Nightmares to appear on consoles, but given the budget we have, I want to devote every last second to making the game the best possible, and make it, instead of making the requirements keeping people happy, right? Like, that's not overly appealing. Making a game is what gets me, excited. So, especially given our limited budget, I'm really excited about our game going to be on this cube. Maybe someday we'll be featured on this box.